It's always been BMW's most grown-up hot rod, but for the last couple of years, you couldn't buy one new. That's all changed with this 2013. Let's drive the BMW M5 and check the tech. Now, the M5 went away for 2 model years, 11 and 12. Back now in this 13 form. And of course, visually, it's easy to spot because it has the lines of the new 5 Series in general. That means the butt's not ugly anymore. Inside, we're going to find some interesting refreshes on BMW's excellent cabin tech. And under the hood, they got rid of the V10 locomotive engine, but still kept it kind of old school. Let's go inside first. Okay, inside this return to the stage M5, you've got a new fresh look on iDrive. No architectural differences, but a lot of nice massaging of the look. Notice how you've got a little different rendering of the typeface. I think this red ribbon thing is new. It might be an M-car thing, I don't know. But it's still the same organization of information and the same iDrive controller. AM, FM, HD, and satellite radio, and Bluetooth streaming as well. And you've also got support for BMW apps. That's the $250 upgrade that lets you dock your iPhone in here and get the access to Facebook and Twitter, made relatively safe on the screen. Now, bass audio in this car is 5.1, 500 watts, 12 speakers around the cabin. Our car has the upgrade that I always am real jaundiced about, Bang & Olufsen audio. Please, $3,700 option in a car with a loud exhaust. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, on to the electronics in this car that are really interesting. They tend to be unique to driving. Here's this array of buttons around the shifter. This one is for your engine behavior. How responsive is the throttle, and how does it hold high RPMs? Here's one for your adaptive suspension. Again, 3 modes there as well. This one is to adjust your steering response. Also 3 modes. And those can be mapped in a collection of presets to 2 different M modes here on the wheel. So, for example, I've got M Mode 1 set to Sport all the way across each of the 3 subsystems. M Mode 2, I've set to the more aggressive Sport Plus across all 3. That's one way to set it up. You can mix and match any way you want. Then overlaying all of that is this rocker switch here, which I call the excitability button, but they call it drive logic. Within any of the different shift modes you're in, you can move this to one of 3 levels of aggression. Let's read from the good book. BMW says they go like so: efficient driving, relaxed driving, or sporty driving. And if you're in the sequential mode where you're shifting manually, they become smooth shifting, fast shifting, and maximum shifting speed with launch control. You get the idea. This is the most complicated drivetrain in production today in terms of setting it up. Well, you probably noticed this shifter. Now, we have the 7-speed sequential automated manual. It's a dual clutch transmission. To the right once is your standard automatic drive mode, again, influenced by all these controls. Kick it again to sequential. Now it's basically a red line holder, and you're responsible on the paddles or with this guy back and forth for doing the shifting. Neutral over here, up and left is reverse. There's no park. You just turn this guy off in drive. I had to unlearn 30 years of driving. That was really weird. While we're talking about visual technologies, check out this one. This is the best head-up display in the business. Turn on the M view and you get your speed. You get this sort of horizontal arced tachometer. You get shift light segments on the top of it, and check that out. You've got a speed limit sign, which is an actual live readout of the speed limit in your area. Is it done by GPS map? No. It's done by the camera reading speed limit signs as you drive. That's pretty cool. Now, kind of related to visual is the invisible visual technologies on this car. Over here, you see this button for lane departure. If you drift while that's turned on, it's going to read those lines and figure out that you're doing so and give you a vibration on the wheel. It does not correct for you. There's also blind spot technology you turn on right here. That'll give you an angry flashing inside the mirror housing right by its root right there. But again, no correction. And you've got forward collision warning technology. Turn that on, and the car is going to remind you you're about to kiss the butt of the one in front of you. The car, that is. Now, BMW still lags behind Audi's stunning use of Google Earth imagery, but the M5 shows the most nuanced 3D renderings I've seen in any car nav system. The one visual technology I don't have on this car is the night vision with pedestrian detection. That would turn this screen into an infrared view of what's ahead of me, useful in the evening, and will also call out pedestrians, which it figures out through image processing and puts them up there with a warning icon on the screen. Now, the first thing I want to show you about the engine bay in the BMW M5 is not the engine, but these damn things. They're back. These two spiked hooks meant to go right through your skull and draw your brain out through the resulting hole. Be careful of these. There's even a sticker here that says be careful, but it's their idea of a sick joke. Now, the engine itself, a 4.4-liter V8. Twin turbos, not twin scroll turbo, but two distinct turbos. In fact, here's the evidence, an intercooler for each one. They blow into this engine and help it create 560 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 on this 4,400-pound car happens in about 4.2 seconds. That's pretty quick for a big boy like this. MPG's interesting. It's 1522 for the manual, just 1420 for the automatic. Rarely does a shift it yourself get better mileage. Well, I almost don't know what to say about a car like this. It's so much. So wonderfully much. The key thing that the M5 does that is the greatest trick in autodom, and very few cars do this, is they shave about 70% of their weight off when you step on it. This car has the ability to go from 4,400 pounds to about 1,600 perceived when you get this engine really running. That's a great trick. Of course, it's got ample suspension to take care of it. I can barely sample this powertrain on any road available to me. It will do things you aren't capable of handling. The gearbox is one that I've learned to love. I had big problems with some of BMW's original automated manuals. That first SMG, what a piece of crap that was. This is really a nice transmission. Tractable around town, crisp and forceful when you want it to be, in sequential mode or in one of these M modes and you really mash into it. One quibble I've got, and it's enough of a quibble that I would have to really think hard about it, is there's an enormous amount of road vibration that comes through into this steering wheel. I'm not talking about road feel. I'm talking about incredibly annoying, kind of high-frequency vibration, the kind that'll make your hands numb after a while. Mark my words, in the 2014 they will dial that out. They're gonna get customer complaints about this. But aside from that annoying holding a power drill all the time feeling of the steering feedback, I have no problem with this suspension. When you dial it back into its comfort mode, it is exactly that. It's not excessively harsh. You're not getting all these hammer inputs underneath the car. And when you go into the aggressive mode, it still isn't so aggressive that it's losing contact with the earth. A lot of performance cars go too far that way. Okay, let's price our 2013 back to the showroom's M5. $89,900 is your MSRP, but you've got destination and a gas guzzler tax of $1,300. Now you're into the low 92s. There's a driver assistance package for $1,900. Does that fit a car of this character or not? I mean, if you're such a great driver that you buy an M5, do you need lane departure, blind spot, and collision warning? It's your call, but it's all in there for under $2,000. A la carte stuff lines up like this. BMW apps, $250, absolutely. Head-up display, a la carte, $1,300. No money extra for the 6-speed manual, that's a pick. And night vision with pedestrian detection, $2,600.